Assalamualaikum, greetings and peace be upon you. Welcome again to our podcast episode of BapaHebat series brought to you by BapaHebat SG. This podcast program is sponsored by Center for Leadership Forum and supported by Yayasan Mendaki. My name is Hadi Salleh and I am a volunteer with BapaHebat SG. We are here at Studio 5 Spaces for this podcast recording. The theme for our podcast series this year is Ayahku, and we have invited celebrities, public figures, and people from all walks of life to be on our show. Our guest today is a public figure who shares the same acronym as celebrities and sports legends such as Michael Jackson, Mick Jagger, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, to name a few. Let's introduce her. She is our very own MJ, the Honorable Madam Mariam Jaafar.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you, Hadi. Nice to be here.
When he retired, right? You were already back in Singapore, or you?
Yes, I think so. But he was teaching adjunct.
Okay.
So he
in Singapore?
Yes, in Singapore. Different primary schools and stuff. Yeah.
So, can you recall or can you remember his reaction or his, how his, thinking or feeling when you told him that you'll be entering politics?
So, actually, he was the reason I entered politics.
Oh, really?
Not because he wanted me to, but because right around, this is just before COVID, or right around the beginnings of COVID, so 2019,
yes.
The later part of 2019, right? And my dad actually got sick, so he was diagnosed with cancer.
Okay.
And so that changed my life quite a lot. Because before that I was traveling, 5 days a week for my work. I had clients in the region, and when he got sick, I said, okay, I want to stay home a bit more. Okay. And it also, I think it's one of those life events that makes you think what you want to do with your life, right? What impact you want to have on your life, with your life, and so indirectly, I think, looking at visiting him at the hospital, seeing old people and, like people with problems, right? Actually and COVID was happening. It was actually one of the major reasons why I decided to run for office. And when I told him, he was very quiet for a while.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's recall that moment.
And then he just said...
How did you break it up to him?
I just, I was at home. I came back from work or something.
But before that, there was like no indications or anything to suggest
not
that
at all.
You are contemplating or thinking.
Not at all. I was very much I was very much, private sector, and like I said, a lot of my clients are in the region.
Right.
Most years I spent more than 200 overnights out of Singapore.
Wow.
For the last 10 years, right? So before that, so I came back and I told him, Daddy, what would you think if I
you call him Daddy, is it?
Yeah. Since young. Daddy,
okay.
Yeah. And then he said, because I actually don't know how he ever voted on the either side, because like I said, he had strong views on things, right?
Yeah.
And he just said, okay, try your best. He was sick at that time also, so he doesn't. By that time, he doesn't talk very much.
Which party is it?
Oh no! I think he knew it would not be. He knew which party it would be.
Okay,
right. But he said, just try your best. Whatever you do. He always said that he has this growing up, and until today, he has in my family we call the Jaafaarism. So that's things that he liked to say that, funnily enough, still guide me through most things today.
Like what?
Right?
Shall I ask you?
So when he said "try your best," is related to all through life. There's some phrases that he would use, like "Don't do a 6:30 job."
All right.
Right. So
Okay.
if you're going to do anything, do it well. Right.
Yeah.
So he would also always say, "Don't be a hypocrite."
Okay.
He liked to, whenever anyone, what he called talk big or whatever, he said, "Bah, hypocrite," right? So, and then he would also think, the Malay phrase that I remember the most is he always said, "Jangan lupa daratan."
Okay.
So never forget where you come from. So these are all grounded kind of values, I think, that,
Maybe
that
should,
really shaped my life.
Put a book of Jaafaarisms.
I've
quotes
wrten
there.
quite
Yeah.
a number of
Oh, you
them.
did? Okay, good.
Yeah, in fact, from the time when we are very young. So when he called us to study, right? My youngest brothers, he would say, he would quote musicals sometimes. We would quote lines from movies, like. You want fame? You remember that phrase, Rocky, I think? Yeah, so...
Oh, yes.
Fame costs, and in this
Yes.
house is where you'll begin. So take out your math book. So that kind of thing, yeah.
Oh, he's
So
quite, happening that, huh? I mean, he can quote books, music,
Yeah, he can quote
movies.
Shakespeare movie,
Yeah.
anything.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so.
Okay, then go back to that story again when you were, when you break to him the news that you'll be
Yeah.
entering politics. That's all he said? Like, he was like,
Yeah.
not worried, like, oh, are you sure this is not,
No, he didn't say that at all. He just said, "Okay, try your best."
I mean, he trusted you so much that
He was also
knew.
quite sick.
Yeah, I know,
So,
but
he wasn't talking very
being
much,
sick doesn't mean that you cannot worry for your children, right? I mean, especially when you love them so much, you brought them up, and then he will probably have his reservations if he has, right? And I don't think he's a man who would be afraid to voice his
So
reservations,
I think
right?
his reservations was more, because I worked very hard, and he knew that from my job, right? So, and so his worry, I think, was always more that that I would work too much and
Okay.
not, he would just say, "Try your best, but always take care of yourself," right?
Balance it
So,
out, yeah.
are you getting enough rest, enough sleep, that kind of thing. Yeah. But the moment I told him, that was all he said, actually. And then I said, "Okay."
What makes you think? What's the secret of your success?
My success?
I mean, especially from school onwards, all to the.
I think my family.
Your family, right?
My family and now my husband. So I think from my father, I think I always, he gave me the foundation of everything that I had, in terms of success in the traditional sense, right? So in terms of education, in terms of,
Right.
because without that, I had such a huge head start just because of what he, of the approach he took to teaching us and making sure that we, always prioritize education. And then my mom, and she was the most patient person on earth, right? I think having my family, big family, was always there to support me, and so my dad, and then I think the schools I went to along the way were all schools and teach. I was very, very lucky. I had teachers who were always very supportive, friends in school who were not competitive, really more supportive. Yeah, so that environment is so important, right? And so it's to this day is what I wish that more people have, because I think if you have the right environment and culture around you, you really can do so much beyond what you could ever imagine. And honestly, my life now is beyond whatever I imagine.
Of course. Yeah.
Right, so.
Okay, I just have a couple more questions.
Yeah.
One, to those listeners out there or our viewers out there, let's say a dad who aspires to be somewhat like your dad, right? But I say, hey, but I can't teach. You know, I can do like what Cikgu Jaafar Harun did. You know, what can I do? I mean, do you think that teaching was the reason, or do you think his presence or involvement?
It was a combination of the teaching and, like I said, the belief. I know he wanted me to do well, right? So, and it doesn't mean that, you know, you have to be very educated or whatever as a father to teach, right? Because, like I said, he only taught us until primary school. He never did anything more after that because he didn't know. And even you know, in upper primary, I remember that he used to kind of teach himself before he taught us.
Okay.
So he would read the textbooks himself.
And he would attempt the
Yeah,
work.
so it's not like he... so sometimes, you know, as we got older, it was a bit of a discovery whether we could solve the math problems or answer the science problems or even sometimes when we were stumped, we would try and work it together, right? So it doesn't mean that you need to know everything, and but I just think that the process and I think the clear knowledge that he wanted us to do well and was there to help us do well was actually really important. So you don't have to be the most, you know, well-educated
in other words,
person.
his presence is
His presence, but
he
also
was
put in
always
the
there
effort, right?
whenever you need something. He's always there, right? Throughout every stage of your life, he's always there. Whenever you need something, you want something, or you know.
In the when we were young, yes, he was always there.
He's always there.
Yeah. But like I said, you don't the effort he took to teach us.
Right.
Also reinforces that is important, right? And as you get older, you realize, you know, he's to work for a whole day and then come back and still spend time with your kids, going through their you know, doing assessment books with them and things like that. Like he would buy lots of assessment books, you know, so for us to do, right? I got more homework from him than from my teachers.
Looking back, what do you think were his sacrifices?
Sacrifices, wow, a lot. I mean, he could spend...
Name one or two that's the most critical ones, or the eventful one.
I don't think I could name one or two, but it was just, I knew that he spent a lot of money on, you know, a lot of money and time.
Money that he could spend on his own, or with on your mom.
Yeah, he didn't buy, like, you know, new clothes very much or things like that, right? But he
reinvested in education.
Yeah, in books
and assessments.
Yeah, correct. We never went far for holidays, but we still went. Like we would go to Malaysia, you know, like and so. You know, the treats when we after exams, and you know, especially if you do well, like all those make a difference from when you are very, very young. You start so early,
Right.
It really becomes just the norm for you, you know.
Amazing. If you can describe him in one word.
Yeah, one word.
Describe your late father, a man, a husband, and a father in one word.
In one word. I think for me, special. I mean, I think he didn't have much education-wise. He had a teaching certificate. He never went to university or anything like that. But I always felt that he was one of the smartest men I knew. He always had an opinion.
Fantastic.
He could build things, like.
Okay. How do you and your siblings honor his memory?
So I think much the same way that we as most Malay families, right? So
Okay.
we do regular tahlils and things like that. We, of course, there are memories of him around our house
Okay.
that because he would do. So we have frame on my wall, and my brothers too. Like things that he used to write down for us. So like he had 50 tips for driving in Malaysia from someone with 50 years of driving
Wow,
experience.
he did all that for you guys?
He will write it. That's what I remember when the boys got their driving license, So the next day he had written all this down and quietly pasted it on their wall, like when to overtake, don't hesitate, like that kind of thing. Or like how to look after, things to look after for the kampung house. Like what kind of paint to get, how often to paint, how to lock the doors,
He's very detailed, yeah?
Yeah, and so I think also making sure that we go back to the kampung house is actually one of the things that keeps his memory very much alive, because the house is him, right? And I think for him it was also a way to make sure there was always some place that the family could go for a holiday.
Right.
And so I don't, unfortunately now I don't get to go so much because most of my weekends is
I didn't take your weekends.
around where you are.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Right, but my siblings still go, and I think every other month they still go and visit.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I will definitely look for this place, and then I will just.
It's in the middle of a real kampung, so
Right, right,
but
okay.
yes.
Anyway, just to a reality check lah. I mean, a great man like your late father, could not have done it alone. So you have a great mother too, right?
Of course, like I said, she was the most patient person ever.
Let's honor her. What is her name, by the way?
What is her
Your
name?
mother.
Asna.
Huh?
Asna.
Hasna, Madam.
Asna. Asna. ASNAH.
Asna. Okay, Madam Asna. Okay. So to Madam Asna and the late Cikgu Jaafar Harun, it's truly an honorable man. I think it's a great man, and someone who, I think his love for his children and his love for their future transcends anything else that matters to him, in fact. Yeah, and you are one of the one of the product of his Jaafaarism. Okay, on that note, I thank you, Madam
Thank you so
Mariam,
much for
for
having
spending your time with us. We would love to have you back, another time, and talk about something else perhaps.
Sure.
All right. So thank you again. Do you have any parting words for fathers who aspire to be like your father?
I think you never underestimate the impact that you have on your children's lives. They see you, they watch you, they cats in the cradle, right? The silver spoon. So and they'll never forget you also. So be the best dad that you can be for them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. That's really profound. Okay, with that, we thank you for joining us in this podcast series of Bapak Kau from BapaHebat SG. We thank you, and we would love to invite you again for our future episodes where we will be interviewing other celebrities and probably other public figures too. So thank you, Madam Mariam.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.